The most obvious benefit of being a free-to-play fighting game is that people can try your game without spending $60. That's a huge positive deal for players and not common in the space. Free updates, free characters, ongoing support, and extremely consistent output of new skins, those are all amazing things 2XKO is doing. Negatives start to pop up when you realize fighting games make most of their money on release when the game just comes out, because that's when most people are buying the game. In a free-to-play model, all of your revenue is earned through an in-game shop, or finding ways to monetize the existing player base consistently and profitably for the entire game's life. This can be done in a way that feels predatory or in a way that feels respectful to the consumer. There's not really an in-between. One of the most obvious examples of a stressor in this situation would be expensive skins, and 2XKO definitely has been having its difficulty in this department. To preface, when buying standalone skins, you're still getting a few other things tacked on which you may or may not want, which I assume is Riot's way of justifying the price. But let's talk about it. The vast majority of skins you'll find in the shop are either of legendary or mythic rarity, which cost 2,000 or up to 3,000 KO points respectively. KO points are the purchasable currency, the actual one you have to spend money on. This equates to 20 and 30 real-world US dollars. The gaming industry on its own has seen $20 skins quite commonly, but 30 is when we start to push the bank account a bit. I mean, if we compare with League of Legends, that's gonna cost you more money than an ultimate skin, which is actually pretty crazy, especially if you consider that Ari's Spirit Blossom skin costs $30 in 2XKO and $16 in League. League is obviously a different economy, different game, different genre, and has an enormous player base to extract money from, but to me, it's still worth mentioning, as it's just like cringe being a League player for so long and being resold skins at higher prices now in 2XKO. But of course, that's more of like a personal gripe that will only really affect a small amount of 2XKO players who are similar to me. So obviously, $30 for a skin is a lot. There's not really any getting around that, but what about the positives? Well, that $30 skin is at the very least going to attempt to give you some bang for your buck, as if we check out the new Spirit Blossom skin line that just came out a bit ago, there's a new voiceover and more importantly, new special effects on your abilities. The special effects is really what dictates that pricing increase, as the new voiceover thing is still pretty new, only being added to the Spirit Blossom skin line for now. It's super sick though, having all new visual and new sound effects on your abilities and supers. This is definitely a big selling point for these more costly skins. If we compare the legendary Dynasty skin for Ari versus the mythic arcade skin, as a quick example, you can clearly see the difference in the skin rarity. To round out the skin topic, I think we have to discuss the current state of both the rotating shop and the skin bundles. Let's start with the shop in general. The rotating shop is still bad. The only real positive I can give to the rotating shop is that they started adding run it back bundles for when you missed old skin lines, which is cool. That's really all I can say though, as even something as simple as the layout for this shop is starting to become a pain to navigate. There's so many random bundles and even a thing here for the battle pass. It just feels very messily laid out right now. My main issue is that the game is still trying to get you to feel like you're missing out on a skin by giving it a deadline until it rotates out of the shop. The FOMO tactic. It's not something I think is very consumer friendly, especially when the shop only has like 4 rotating slots. I realize the 2 rotating bundles of previous mismatched skins is meant to help alleviate this, but as I said before, it's leading to shop clutter while attempting to fix the issue. It's also not always in the shop. At that point, just add more rotating skin slots instead of a bunch of bundles. Even making old skin lines permanently in the shop after a certain amount of time would be more healthy and look better, in my opinion. In terms of the skin bundles themselves, they range from awesome to predatory, which I will admit they are mostly awesome, thankfully. So what do I mean by that? A normal new bundle will consist of one thematic skin line containing multiple characters. You can buy any skin you want from these characters and everything's all fine and dandy. The one issue with these good bundles is that there's this black and gold chroma that you're not allowed to buy separately. It's literally a bonus if you buy the whole bundle. If you only wanted the color for one character and you've already bought their $30 skin, that's like $60 extra, dude. Like what? They did a similar thing in League and honestly, I didn't really care because it was just like the ugly chroma. Despite that though, these good bundles are awesome and allow you to purchase the skin that you want for the character that you like. So what's a predatory or a bad bundle? Enter Frame Perfect and Arcane. The Arcane bundle is the game's release bundle, which was priced in a way that if you wanted any singular skin, just one skin, you still had to spend $100. I don't even play Echo anymore, bro. I'm getting like Sparking Zero PTSD right now. I despise this practice with a passion. It is just so poor taste to me. I heard Riot did a similar thing with a Valorant starter bundle, but I also heard that that game just has rough monetization in general, so I really just want to make sure 2X does not go down that same route. So when they do stuff like this, I really do feel the need to like speak on it and flame it. You could pass this off as a unique bundle, I guess, but it's just not okay. The same thing happened for the Frame Perfect bundle, which actually ended up raising $225,000 in total for the EVO events this year. Just gotta say, that is insanely cool. Just shows the power of funding in this way and how popular Ari and Echo both were at the time, especially as a team. Despite this bundle doing an incredible thing for the competitors and the community, our choice was limited again, as you had to buy the entire bundle if you wanted just one skin. It's just simply an off-putting tactic that only screws us over as the buyer if we don't want every skin or play that exact team. It's a bad practice, and I sincerely hope they do not continue it in the future. For now, it seems to only be a thing for very specific skin lines. Let's move on now to the free-to-play currency called credits and see how well they function. Credits are generally fantastic. Being able to earn free currency to buy things is always going to be great for the free-to-play community who are not able to spend money on the game. Unfortunately, there's no way to buy skins for the free currency, but given the game is free-to-play, this is simply fine and quite expected. So what are you able to buy? You can use credits on some drip, some emotes, whatever cosmetics are available from Champion Mastery, and then most importantly, stages and character colors / chromas. You can even purchase every new character, which is a huge W for the game. The only annoying part is that you have to wait a bit longer during that champion release week. You can purchase credits through daily and weekly missions, which the other mission tabs also have some random cool cosmetic stuff in them too, which is kind of neat. In terms of currency generation, I feel like you gain a pretty okay amount. I personally don't feel super gatekept on the currency. That's of course with me being someone who's actively playing the crap out of the game. But given you're only really looking to purchase stages and colors and sometimes a new champ if you're free to play, I feel like the current rate of the credit generation works decently well. The real issue with this system is that your credits are capped at 12,000, which means you cannot hoard the currency. I've went in on this before, so I'll spare the rant, but the cap is simply cringe and makes us buy stuff we don't want constantly just because it's gonna cap out. It hurts all kinds of players and is kind of annoying. While I think the currency generation is okay, I still think certain things about it are a bit too overpriced, like colors. 6,500 credits was almost as much as a stage, and seeing as you have to buy multiple colors for your character, this definitely hurts casuals quite a bit. It's just a tad too much, you know? Being able to get the colors for free is still quite nice though. Stages themselves cost 7,500 credits, which I would say is easily fair because a stage is a pretty big deal to be able to get for free. Although stages in the Battle Pass are stuck to the Battle Pass for the duration, afterwards they are purchasable free to play for credits, which is awesome. I want to touch on the character mastery progression system as well, as it's just really poorly thought out. There's multiple tiers you can unlock which give you access to cosmetics for that champion, purchasable with credits. You can see I have a couple thousand games on Ari, which is just really weird when you realize I'm still not at the maximum mastery. At the very least, just give me cosmetics for free once I reach the mastery level. I mean, at this point, I've legit completely stopped caring about them. I mainly dislike this system because it's screwing over casual players super hard who maybe want some of this stuff because they're just never gonna max out their mastery. Literally never. And most grinders could not care less about these dinky little cosmetics. Finally, we can talk about the Battle Pass. Honestly, it's pretty standard. You spend $10 for a variety of rewards, which even if skins for your main aren't on the Battle Pass, you might find some value in the random cosmetics, the finisher, or the stage. The Battle Pass is fine. If you watched this so far, you'll know I can't support FOMO skins, so that's naturally also my criticism of the Battle Pass. The pricey Ultra Battle Pass bundle only realistically gatekeeping the big skin, like for this one, the Caitlyn skin, is pretty annoying too, but at least that specific skin will go into the rotating shop, unlike the others in the Battle Pass. That's everything though. I think the monetization for 2XKO is generally pretty respectful to the player, aside from specific pain points like the $30 skins, specific bundles, FOMO stuff, and the mastery system for casuals. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I really do love hearing your guys' opinions, regardless of whether or not I personally agree with them. So yeah, I'll see you guys again soon. Peace.
Everybody hit it with me, hit the C line. Numbers can share with many others. I thought it was a tragedy. I thought it was lonely. Sometimes I thought it was special. But it's just